Hello, everyone, and welcome to our fall athletic parent meeting for 2020 and 2021. My name is Kevin Roberts. I'm the athletic director. Before we begin our presentation, I'd like to inform everyone that all the documents that pertain to our COVID-19 athletic guidelines can be found on our website under athletics or under our COVID-19 policies. All other guidelines can be found in the parent handbook. As I said, my name is Kevin Roberts. This will be my fourth year as athletic director here at St. Dominic. And just some key people that you need to know and recognize prior to the fall season. First off is Miss Sarah Summers. She is our athletic assistant. Mr. Nathan Tock, who will serve as the administrator event supervisor at some contest. So if I'm not there, Mr. Tock will be. And Miss Ruth Young, who is our certified athletic trainer and will be serving as our school nurse for the first couple of weeks of school. An overview of our 2020 COVID-19 guidelines. As we know, the risk of coronavirus will still be present throughout this year. Our students and family, along with us, the school personnel, we recognize that there are risks. And what we are doing is implementing the best practices to reasonably mitigate these problems. So in-person learning versus virtual learning. MSHSAA has passed governance to allow the local schools to make decisions for that. So St. Dominic's guidelines will be that any student who is not in the building during the day may not participate in activities or athletics. This includes students who are sick, quarantined, or just who choose not to attend in-person learning. So you must be present to attend. For screening and reporting and return to play policies. First, athletics is going to have the same policy as the school. Parents and caregivers should screen their children before coming to school. The one exception, the one difference is that for Saturday practices, the expectation is that parents follow that same protocol. Please screen your child before attending Saturday practices. If a student leaves for any doctor's appointment, they need to be rescreened prior to coming back. We have designated Ruth Young, our athletic trainer, as our point person for reporting and tracking our athletes' attendance and conditions. So any correspondence for COVID-19 related issues can be directed directly to Ruth, and she will be in contact with the family and report it to the school, and vice versa. If the report is directed towards the school, she will get updates on that as well. To help with this, coaches will provide daily attendance to Ruth for important record keeping and contact tracing. So each coach of each level of each sport will have to provide daily attendance. Athletes and coaches who test negative for COVID-19 will be allowed to return to play with a written clearance from a health provider given directly to Ruth and documentation of a negative test also given directly to Ruth. Athletes and coaches who may have been exposed, so within 6 feet for more than 15 minutes, according to the CDC guidelines, should contact the health department for further guidance. Athletes and coaches who are symptomatic, positive, or who have been exposed and test positive for COVID-19 will be allowed to return to play with a completed MSHSAA return to play form and written clearance from a health provider. Parents, make sure you bring the return to play form with you to the testing so the doctor or urgent care knows that it has to be filled out in order to return to play if that test comes back positive. The form can be found on our website under COVID-19 sections and athletic pages, and this must be returned to Ruth. So how we're putting it is no documentation, no play. This is the example of the MSHSAA COVID-19 return to play form. This form can be found on our website. Face coverings, social distancing. Face coverings will be mandatory for coaches that are within 6 feet of any athlete, coach, or official. Face coverings for coaches are optional when they are socially distant, which is more than 6 feet apart for any athlete, coach, or official. Athletes' face coverings are optional during play, but we ask that all face coverings are black, navy, gray, or white. We ask that athletes wear masks when not doing strenuous physical activity and social distancing. For example, when an athlete is on the bench during a contest, we are asking them to wear a mask and to socially distance. While they're stretching before practice or post-game talks after practice, we ask them to wear masks and be socially distant. And while on bus rides, we ask them to wear masks and be socially distant. Transportation. St. Dominic will provide transportation to and from most contests. There will be contests this year that we ask varsity athletes to drive. We provide a drop-off only and parents arrange for bus rides home. Or we provide no transportation and ask parents to transport to and from. This will all be based on location, times, and bus availability. Students and coaches will be required to wear masks at all times while on buses. Locker rooms, cleaning, and equipment. Our locker rooms will be available to our kids. We are not providing locker rooms for visiting teams this year. Equipment that is being shared by student athletes will be cleaned between uses when possible. When possible, students should have their own equipment and should be taking home to be cleaned. This would include, but not limited to, helmets, gloves, rackets, clubs, etc. Athletes will need to bring their own water bottles and towels every day. There will be no shared materials when it comes to water bottles or towels. Spectators, group gatherings, and travel. St. Dominic will adhere to the local guidelines for spectators and events. Please note that spectators' attendance at contests will most likely change throughout the year. As our guidelines change, we will definitely update our parents and our community. More information will be provided as we approach the start of the season. I am very optimistic that we will have spectators and student body at our contest. St. Dominic has eliminated all contests that require overnight stays, and we're working on scheduling more contests in our area. At this time, parents will still be required to work gate and concessions this year. Masks and gloves will be mandatory, but we will provide gloves and the workers will provide their own masks. So masks will not be provided to you. Now, kind of our nuts and bolts of our athletic policies that are standard. Our standard of eligibility is no failing grades, no significant conduct issue, and that is measured throughout the semester. And we do have mid-semester grade reporting that could impact your eligibility. So criteria for ineligibility would be a failing grade in a course or 2 classes with unsatisfactory conduct. And then if that occurs, the student athlete will be placed on academic probation. Academic probation is a 2-week suspension from all games. The student athlete may practice at the coach's discretion, but will not leave school early for any athletic contests. Parents and athletes will be notified after mid-semester grades are posted. The athletic director will notify the coach, the student athlete, and the parent if that athlete is placed on academic probation. The athletic director discretion after 2 weeks suspension. If the student athlete is passing all their classes after 2 weeks, they are no longer on academic probation. If they are not passing classes still, they will be placed on another 2 weeks suspension. Parent expectation. Behaviors of parents. There's 2 things that we need to be aware of. 1, we cheer for our team, not against other teams. And 2, we need to understand that officials will make mistakes, and we will not jump on them. Another parent expectation is the responsibility on your child to help them grow. If there are issues with playing time or any other issues with the team or the coach, we encourage your child to talk to the coach. If they can develop that relationship first, it will help them grow. Be purpose driven, not goal driven. The best thing you can tell your son or daughter is, I love watching you play. And then the team rules for your particular team. Each coach will be sending out a correspondence about a team meeting, and they will discuss their team rules there. Our athletic handbook. One of the main points is our chain of communication. So if there is an issue or any type of communication needs to happen, we encourage the athlete and coach to sit down together to communicate. If the issue is not resolved, that is where the parent can step in. So step 2 would be athlete, coach, and parent. We encourage the athlete to be present in all communication if there is a coach-parent communication. And step 3, if nothing is resolved, would be athlete, coach, parent, and athletic director. One of my favorite sayings, and this is so true, is that teams are destroyed around the dinner table. We understand that all experiences are not the same. Some student athletes have great experiences, some negative experiences. But as parents, we hope that you can keep the negative communication amongst each other behind closed door. Your son or daughter may have a really positive experience, even if they're not playing. So please, please, please keep those comments and things to yourselves, or like I said, behind closed doors. We have a 24-hour rule. So if there is an issue, please do not approach a coach directly after a game and ask questions to him. The coach just got done in competition, and 2, these situations do not play out very well. I encourage you to wait 24 hours, sleep on it. If you still have an issue, then it's a good time to contact the coach. Also, some expectations is that, one, you are in the SDAA, and if you would like to volunteer, we have some volunteering options for you. So the SDAA raises funds through concession sales, sponsorships, spirit wear, and then we put on 4 big events throughout the year. The Cornhole Tournament, the Crusader Golf Classic, the Emos Christmas Basketball Tournament, and the Stefanina's Mouse Races. So the SDAA funds projects for all our athletics and activities that could not be funded through the general budget. So there's a list of things that we've done, and there are many, many more things that we have contributed to St. Dominic. In fact, over $500,000 has been donated through the SDAA to our athletic and activities department. Our current SDAA members are Dean Zellner serves as our president, Craig Hood, our treasurer, Pat Mulvaney, our vice president, Jeff Smith, our secretary, Teresa Holliday, concessions coordinator, and Kelly Lynch, spirit wear coordinator. Some expectations for our student athletes. Number 1 is academics. They are student athletes first. Number 2, they need to know that everything they do from here on out represents St. Dominic. Number 3, they need to communicate to coaches, to their teachers, and to you, the parents. And number 4, whether we win or lose, we will always, always treat everyone with respect and have sportsmanship. Parents, please stay connected at this time. Make sure you follow Twitter for all cancellation and updates at SDHS Athletics. We'll update not just cancellations, but games that are in progress. So if you can't be at contests, make sure you check SDHS Athletics. For all schedule changes, especially this year, make sure you have Arbiter Live as well. We do not distribute paper copies of schedules because schedules are so fluid right now and they're changing. And usually I say week to week, but this year will be day to day. Transportation to and from games, we've already talked about. Coaches will have a schedule of what contests they will be transporting and how the transportation will happen. And we still have our athletic fees. So your son or daughter may not play any games until the athletic fee is paid, and it is $125 per athlete per season per sport. And then athletic passes, you can purchase online or at any home game. As I said, we will be communicating about spectators at our contest. So if you'd like to hold off on athletic passes right now, that would be fine. So make sure we pay attention to the transportation, athletic fees, athletic passes, and understand that our Spiritware store is open to purchase items. So Miss Kelly Lynch will be present, and we will be communicating a schedule of when that Spiritware will be open. But stop on in and get some St. Dominic gear. Be ready to check your email for concession stand and gate worker assignments. Mrs. Summers is working on that. And as the schedule changes, so will assignments. And it'll be your responsibility to find a replacement if you cannot work the assignment that we fill out for you. Parent captain, so each sport, each team will have a parent captain. So if you'd like to get involved, there's an opportunity there. And then if you would like to be involved in the SDAA, you can email myself at kevinroberts@stdominichs.org, and I can help direct you to the right people. Finally, we have Fall Cleanup Day on August 22nd. 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. Parents are encouraged to come out and help make our campus look beautiful. Our facilities team is amazing, but with acquiring more land and expansion, it sometimes is difficult to keep up. So we like to get involved, and it's a kind of a community working together. So the coaches will have more information on what needs to be done for your specific sport. Finally, we do have a parent acknowledgement Google form for this presentation. So if you could please click the link above and fill out the form so that we can identify that you have watched this. The one thing is, if you are a parent of multiple sport athletes, you will only have to watch this one time and agree to it one time. So if you're a football, basketball, baseball player, or if you're a volleyball, swimmer, lacrosse player, you only have to watch this one time. So please click that. If you have any questions or anything, please contact me. I know there's a lot of information in this slide, but I'd be willing to answer any questions that you have. Thank you for watching.